Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode of the Improved Podcast. My name is Chase Collins. This is the official podcast of Classic Studios, and today we have a lovely episode for you all. But before we get to that, I do want to just say happy Monday to all the folks who are waking up Monday morning, starting their day with the Improved Podcast. I'm so happy to be chatting it up with you all. This episode is going to be episode 6 of the ongoing series of creating a short film, an indie short film with no budget, at practically no budget, with one of my good friends, Elijah, who I met on r/screenwriting, and we connected and got hooked up together, and we decided that I would write his short film for him, and then he would film it and produce it, and he was gracious enough to also do this podcast with me as well. So super grateful for him to allow me to do this type of a podcast, and we are now into episode 6, which is just crazy to think that we have 6 episodes spanning back like over 6 months at this point, and we've been doing this for like well over a year. So it's just awesome to see the progress and stuff that we've made. This episode, Elijah is right in the middle of editing this film, and I got a chance to see some of the rough cuts, and so I was giving some of my feedback and all that. It's a little chopped up, I guess, because I didn't want it to be just full of silence, me just watching a movie. So yeah, it's a little chopped up. It might be a little jarring, so I apologize for that, but yeah, please bear with us. It's still a good episode. So if you do want to jump around to what you find most interesting, there are time codes below, and if you want to hear about my goals and projects for this week, stick around till the end, and I'll be sure to give you all an update. All right, with that, ladies and gentlemen, thank you all so much. I hope you enjoy the episode, and don't forget to set your goals for this week.
Improve podcast. Improve podcast. Improve podcast.
I haven't posted an episode in like 1 week, and I'm not going to post one tomorrow, so it's going to be 2 weeks coming up.
Okay.
But whatever, man. We're just chilling, dude.
But I thought you had like episodes recorded for like 6 weeks, 5 weeks in advance.
I did, but then I burned through those when I was like chilling.
Oh, I got you.
So yeah, I burned through all of those, and now I'm just like solo episodes forever because I don't know. It's like work and effort, and I'm really just having a blast writing right now. So it's like all of my devotion and time
that's
is
so good.
going into writing. So it's like yeah, and like the podcast is the side project to my side project. So it's like that's gonna be the first thing to go. But I'm still
I know exactly what you mean,
recording
like
and
side
stuff.
project to side project. Oh, there's a lot to get into. Honestly, there's so much to get into.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I guess I don't know. I'm trying to think because the 3 things we sort of talked about today was going over like the final speech, maybe workshopping that. You're in the middle of editing, so getting an update on that, or like where you're at in production and stuff like that, and you're doing some reshoots, so that's interesting. And then I even got the chance to see a rough cut of some of the shots or the scenes, so that was a bit of excitement as well. So there's been a lot going on.
Yeah. I would say let's do the workshop not today, just because like I'm very deep into editing right now. I'm like gonna take a break here, but then I want to like go back to it, so I need to like maintain as much brain power as I can. But I'm definitely, we can definitely talk about, because you said that you felt like the direction was a bit different than what you expected, and I'm interested in seeing what you thought of those edits. And then that third thing that you mentioned, I'm telling you, like my brain is fried right now. I'm like very deep in it.
Yeah.
Okay, was the writing? Here, remind me of something you just told me 5 minutes ago, like 2 seconds ago.
What was it? It was the writing. You're deep in the middle of editing and post-production, and I don't know. I don't remember what the third thing was. I think I just made something else.
All right,
maybe reshoots.
cool.
I don't know.
Yeah, so let's put the writing off for this week, just because
Okay, cool.
a lot's going on. But yeah, I guess I can like talk about kind of my editing process and how it's gone so far, maybe.
Yeah.
I feel like that's something that you like maybe is in line with what we've been talking about, just like
Yeah,
the
that'd be
process
sweet.
of
Let's
this.
do it.
So
God damn.
I the reason the film isn't done yet is actually all on me, right? Like I hit this like level of stagnation in December, which is when we finished filming, right? Because it was like I had so much fun with like filming it, and it was like such a good process, and like even pre-production, like all that stuff was really good, and
Yeah.
it was like this really engaging process. And then coming down off of that, where it's like you're going from stimulation because you're like constantly working on something super involving and like to a degree like chaotic, and then all of a sudden like there's the simulation isn't there anymore, and you're just like working on this project, which is like an idea. It's like this kind of vague uh presence in your mind, and you're trying to like recreate that, and you're trying to think like, how do I best display this. It's like I have all these shots, but how do I use them. It's like it's much more like slow, I guess, and much more repetitive. And like the first part is like organizing your clips, and then syncing audio, right? So it's like those are two things that are chores. Like you can't really look at it any other way. Those are chores.
Yeah.
And so, man, I mean, I just like back in December, I was like, yeah, like I'm not really feeling so excited about this project anymore. Like just because of the fact that like I went from like the thing that I really love doing to the thing that I kind of dread doing. And I don't
Mm.
want to like out myself here too much, but like I'm like hoping to stop editing soon. Like just like in my life, like I'm hoping that like
Oh, really?
you know any editing after this is like purely like because I have to. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
that's
Like, and that is a transformation, because it's like I've never had that opinion, but like it's like I every year. No, no, I've always said that, but every year like editing has gone like so less and less enjoy. Like I've gotten less and less enjoyment from it, and
yeah.
this project has like kicked my ass. Like positively, I was like, damn, like over the summer that was kind of hard because I had like all these shots, working for this company and like editing. Like I had all these shots, so it was like the opposite of the problem which I usually have, which is like I'm working with people who don't give me any footage, right? So I was like, oh, this is even harder. But now I have all the shots, I have like the narrative and everything, and it's up to me to like just make it happen. And it's a lot of just like tweaking and going over issues like over and over again. But that's like that's just it's not always like that. But when you're trying to like refine a cut, usually I mean you can end up spending like a lot of time on just like the few in and out frames, and it can be a little annoying. But now it's like it's not even a problem of like not knowing what to show. It's more of like just being so intentional about every moment. So yeah, that was a lot, but we'll start from there.
Yeah. Wow. Well, it definitely sounds like you're going through it again, dude.
Yeah.
So back in December, yeah. So you made that transition from production to the post, and then got in the trenches of editing, and realizing like, oh, it's not the lack of footage or the excess of footage. It's just I don't like editing.
well, well, okay. Yeah. So realizing it wasn't the lack of footage happened like a few months ago, like that. I was like, oh, okay. So it's just maybe I don't really like editing so much. But then I worked this
Yeah.
job and I did it, and like because I was under pressure of like a boss and I was working with people I liked, it was like, okay, I can make this work. But now I think what I realized was just like it might be like my attention deficit, like whatever, like
Mm.
but I feel like there's just not enough stimulation. Like it's too like sit down and stare at a screen and like not really like like my brain isn't really like feeling engaged, and I need something a bit more engaging. So I think like this is like I'm gonna try to make this the last editing project I take on, like unless like necessary or like for a friend
Yeah.
or something like that.
That's so interesting. Yeah. Yeah. No, I totally.
Yeah.
That's funny because I'm trying to, or I'm, paralleling that with like my experience with like writing, and that's
Mm,
very much just sitting in front of the screen, having epiphanies like over and
mm,
over and over again. Um, So it's
Well,
funny.
yeah, I mean, it's not so much like the sitting that's the problem. Like I said, it's just like the lack of engagement. I feel like it's not like inspiring enough for me, honestly.
That's so interesting. I'm kind of like shocked that you have that take.
Mhm.
It sounds exciting. I'm sure I'm probably like idolizing it in my head about compared to like what it actually is, but it sounds fun and exciting to me. Like thinking about like, oh, we have so many shots, like we can put a movie
Yeah,
together. Like that sounds fun, but I'm sure when you're actually doing it, less so.
yeah. I mean, like everyone has their own thing, right? And
Yeah.
mine just happened to be something that was like I've been doing it for so long that I like what is it? Stockholm syndrome myself into thinking like, oh yeah, I could do this for a job.
Oh, that's funny.
But now I'm like, what was I thinking? But it's all good. It's all good. Like, life moves on. It's
Yeah.
better to not like cause yourself like pain and all that stuff and just find something new, I guess.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, you're learning like a part of figuring out what you want to do for the rest of the life. Rest of
Hmm.
your life is figuring out what you don't want to do. And so I think you learned that. That's good.
But so like, what did you think of the things that you've seen so far? Because you said that the direction was different. I'm
Well,
interested.
and
Also, what do you think of the editing? Like, do you have any notes? Like,
yeah, I have some notes. I don't
mm,
know exactly like all the terms, and so when I say like I don't know about or the direction is different,
mm,
I like don't really know what that means. I'm just probably saying like what I visioned in my head when I was writing it was different than like what I saw. And so that was
okay.
interesting. That was like, whoa.
Mm,
It's so clear on the page, you know?
uh-huh.
Um how does it not translate? But like duh, that's how it works, you know, when you you leave the death of the author, right? Once it becomes
Yeah.
published, it comes into the hands of, the content is no longer yours, it's the viewers. But yeah, so I haven't seen him. I only saw him like the one time and then I wrote down a bunch of notes.
Mhm.
So I might even consider like pulling it up. Um,
Yeah, you should.
dang, I don't how am I gonna do this? Hold on. Um yeah, in general, it was I think it was like faster than I expected it to be. That was
Mhm.
like the one especially in scene 4. That was like it was quick, I guess. It was like, "Whoa." That scene like snapped by and in my head it like plays out for like a long time or something like that. I don't know why. That was just
Maybe, yeah, I don't know. Maybe it might have been like the acting, then. It might have been the performance. Might have been like that whole thing of like, Courier New taking like a minute per page. Like maybe that's not always true. Perhaps.
right. Yeah, I think you're nailing it right there. Yeah. Okay, so scene 4 and scene 11, I've seen rough cuts are. And are there any like shots of Lacey's face in that you filmed? Like the other
Mm.
side of the camera? Like Jim's perspective over the shoulder, I guess?
Oh, for scene 4, for scene 4, no,
No.
no.
Yeah, that was something I was missing too. I was like, "Oh, I want to see Lacey's
Yeah.
performance because it's all about
R-
her, like what she's
Right.
able to do and stuff." So I was just curious. That was something I was missing for sure. I was like, "Oh, when is that?
Okay.
When do
Yeah,
we get to
so
see
we're
her?"
we're the reshoots we're gonna do completely POV. And so like her characterization is gonna be like what she's analyzing kind of through the like visual elements. So like maybe we'll like highlight something, have some text here, text there.
Yeah.
It's a bit like yeah,
Oh,
it's
that's
definitely like a
cool.
choice,
Do
rather
some
than
like
just
ADR stuff.
yeah, right. ADR.
Isn't that what it's called? I could be wrong.
Isn't is that I feel like that's audio.
I don't know. I could be tripping.
Just like special effects, I guess. I don't know. But so yeah, I mean, it was we're just gonna go POV for that, and like the whole reason was like I'm trying to tie in the idea that like Dax is being watched, right? Or like we're consistently seeing like this camera, this point of view that's like from someone that's like someone who's watching these events unfold, you know, and it's like you don't necessarily like you know it's Lacey. I think like if I watch the whole film back when it's done, like maybe it'll be obvious, but like it's basically just going to be POV until scene 11. So that's like the first time that we actually see her. And so I don't know if you noticed, but like for scene 11, like that moment where he like discovers her, I tried to drag it out just like as much as possible, despite the like obviously there was like tension there, so it had to be somewhat quick. But I tried to drag it out because it's like this is the first time you're seeing Lacey, you know, who's like been talked about and you know you're seeing the recording and everything like that, and like you know the whole film she's kind of like this idea, you know, and she's interacting like that scene in Inception where the guy's like behind the bookshelf, like trying to like communicate with his daughter in the past or
Oh
communicate with
yeah,
himself.
Interstellar. Yeah,
Interstellar. Did I say Inception?
yeah.
Anyways, so
Two
like
Nolan
that's Lacey
films.
for like the whole film.
Okay.
And it's like it's just about finding ways to characterize that. For scene 11, we also shot this POV thing, but my phone got stolen on a bus, and it had the POV shot, and our actor's back in Arizona, so he can't even. Yeah.
Yeah, I did like scene 11. I thought was good. I
Okay.
really enjoyed that one. Thought that was good. There's some other stuff.
Yeah, I'm gonna need your notes, man. I'm waiting on those notes.
Should I just read them out? Should I just go
Yeah,
over them
you should.
live? They're kind of brutal, man. Don't hate
Oh,
me.
that's okay, man. That's okay. Like, there's gonna be a level of like me just being okay with how the film is, to be
Yeah.
honest.
All right. You don't care about scene 4. Scene 11. Similar stuff. There's no cuts to Lacey's face. Lacey's reaction shots.
That's actually interesting. So for the reaction shots, I intentionally wanted to make it so that it was focused on Alex and his like point of view until the moment where she pulls out the gun, because then it's
Hmm.
like okay, it's now Lacey's story. So it was kind of like supposed to
Oh,
be
interesting.
narrative, but like if that didn't come through, that's also important for me to know. So I'm gonna try
Yeah.
to do that again.
And maybe it'll come together like in the whole film in that context. Like it won't take me out, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah,
Something like that.
yeah,
Dax is good. That was one of my notes. Was like, yo, Dax is good.
he's great. He's great.
He does
He's great.
really good. It's sick. Lacey's good too. I liked her. Yes, more cuts to her. Oh, and I have something here that says like they should be moving. She should be busy. This is like a casual conversation. It's nothing like important. She's not. Oh, she's not providing exposition. She's like reporting responses to
Uh-huh.
routine, sensible questions like a good robot while she is searching for the weapons to take over the world.
Wait, so what's the note?
Uh, I don't know. That was just my thought on what it
Oh,
should be. I guess.
yeah.
I said, and yeah, what are they just standing and talking to each other? I think in scene 11
Yeah,
for like part of it, it was
essentially.
like they should be moving throughout that scene as she's like
That
looking for stuff.
is what you wrote down. The problem is the setting that we were able to get was just
Yeah,
not very big.
that makes sense.
And I didn't catch enough B-roll actually for scene 11. Surprisingly enough, I like I didn't really think about it as much. Like I have more B-roll for all the other scenes, but for that one it's like not really covered, to be honest.
Yeah,
Which like
that's
you'd
cool.
think that's the scene that I would think about, getting all the B-roll for.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I don't really know what that means, but I think you're right. What does that mean, B-roll? Like, how would you use it, or what
Um,
is B-roll?
so if you're
Just
if
like
you're capturing like a conversation, like the cuts back and forth, what?
I'm
I'm
just
making
such
it.
an idiot. I'm just such an idiot. That's what I'm thinking right
I
now.
mean, you're writing
Sorry, go ahead.
screenplays, dude. You should know what B-roll is.
I know. What am I doing?
So A-roll is like if you're having a conversation, it's like the cuts back and forth between face to face. And then B-roll is like maybe something's going on with the hands or like someone's
Ah,
talking in the
okay.
background. So it's just essentially like the narrative and then like the supporting uh
Okay.
pieces. Yeah.
I see.
So we just didn't capture enough of that stuff. Also, it's good that you don't know because that means I have an excuse or reason to explain to anyone who might not know. um, but like for scene 11, I just didn't capture enough of like the extra stuff, and I definitely should have done that. But I was so like we filmed that from I think like 10 p.m. Like literally, we went down from the
Dang.
office. We went down there at 10 p.m. because we filmed something up there. We went down there at 10 p.m. and I was like, all right, 10 p.m. We're making good time. We'll finish by midnight. We'll be out. We finished at 2:30.
Whew. That's a
Yeah.
long shoot.
Yeah. So Vero was not on my mind. I was like, let's get out of here.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
you know,
No shot.
we were like, we were like drinking beers and like eating snacks and like all this stuff between takes and everything like that. And it like lasted us just about until the end. And like
Boy.
I went down with like a 6 pack of Red Bulls. Those are gone. Like it was, yeah, it was crazy.
That's funny.
But like, okay, so like overall, generally, you want more of Lacey's face. I'll see if I can actually like improve that aspect. But like, is there anything else?
I thought the ending of scene 11 was really good. I wrote that down. I said that's sick how it ends.
Okay.
Yeah, and it like gets yeah. I remember I haven't watched this in a minute. We should probably just watch it right now.
Do you want it? Yeah,
Um
we can. We can.
I
This is
can't hear
wild
it
for
on
me.
my
I'm like my brain has moved so far from this scene.
What are you working on now?
Scene 8, which actually is incredibly difficult. Surprisingly enough, it's like as hard as scene 11. I was like scene 8 is going to be hard, but not that hard because it's a conversation essentially. But no, it's actually very difficult to like capture everything and pacing it up all that. Anyways,
Is that which one is that? Is that the scene with Dax and Ethan?
okay, so scene 8 is the one with Dax and Ethan, but there's also Kathy. And something that I'm keeping in mind is that Kathy has her own characterization as well. So it's like you have to think of how you're going to display these characters. Like, yes, obviously, there's like an element where it's like, okay, let's show the face and show the action and everything like that and make sure that the viewer is understanding and like has enough context. But I'm also doing like a lot of like things narratively through the edit, which is like Kathy as well is someone who like, you know, when she appears, like you see her as like this very like, empowered presence, and then when it returns like the focus on Dax and Ethan, we see that she's kind of overshadowed by Ethan, so she kind of like she has her own source of like authority, but she still like works for this big company which is run by Ethan, or maybe he's like someone at the top, right?
Yeah.
And so it's like, how do you show this character who's like in their element and they're very like in control, but at the same time they're not like the head honcho. Like the head honcho is Ethan, right? So like, how do we displace that power? Like, how do we give her this power at the beginning, and then also include Dax's point of
Oh,
view, and then displace the power to Ethan and give it to Ethan? And
yeah.
it's like it just like you have to think about this stuff when you're editing. So that's why it's like taking a
That's
long
cool.
time. Yeah.
No, that's sick. That's like yeah, Dax is like intimidated by Kathy from his
Yeah.
perspective, and that's the audience's perspective. And so he's like really intimidated by her. And then
Right.
as you like move through the scene, then you pass it off and like, oh, it's serious now. Like Ethan's here, whoever that guy is.
Yeah.
He killed Jim.
Right. Right. So yeah, tonight the plan is to finish that scene. Oh my God, if I get it done, I'll get it done. But to finish that scene and then do scene 2. And I'm gonna do scene 2 in one day. That I'm holding it to myself. I'm gonna do it tonight. I'm gonna drink as much coffee as I need, and then I'm just gonna do scene 2. Like just gonna run through it. So, anyways,
Scene 2 is a good one.
it's a fun one.
Scene 2
I'm
is a
I'm
good
excited to
scene.
show you it. Honestly.
Yeah, I'm excited to see that one. Oh, I can't wait to see Rodrigo's performance. Or whoever's performance of Rodrigo.
Right. Okay. Let's watch it.
Okay, yeah. This is scene 11. I don't know what we're gonna do for the podcast. Dude, it's so.
I'm gonna pretend like I know.
Wait, hold on. Wait, hold on. Pause it. Pause it. What do you say?
My reaction, dude. It's hard Okay, so context. I wrote this script in like a week, right?
Yeah.
And I was like deep in the middle of my master's degree, so I was like studying all of this like tech stuff. And so I name dropped like a bunch of stuff in here. And if I rewrote the script, like did a second draft, I would totally clean up some of that dialogue because it's like
Oh,
it feels clunky to
okay.
me.
All right.
And that's funny. So I get like secondhand cringe from it because I'm like, oh god, first draft problems. But yeah, and so when during production, during some of our podcasts, you were saying like, yeah, the actors were sort of, improvising and changing lines a little bit. And I was like, yes, good, because they're bad. And then like some of the ones that like I wish y'all had changed like stuck. And I'm like, damn it, those ones are the worst ones.
Oh no, dude, I loved the script, honestly. I mean, like the people that raise like things where they're like, yeah, let's change this, like it was obviously good. But like for the most part I really liked the script. Like the script for me was so solid and I like really wanted to make sure that we did it justice. It's not related to like what we left in or not. I'm just saying that. Like I like the script and I'm glad I got to work with it.
Yeah, that well, thanks, dude.
Yeah. I
And
don't think
it's
you should
cool.
worry
It's
about it.
so cool.
I really don't. Like I think your script is
So
fine.
cool seeing it. Thanks, dude. Oh, but yeah, I was gonna say like if you wanted to cut a line, like you could cut that one like free.
Which one?
Um, like booting up of the algorithm, it's like a nightmare sequence. You could like
Oh, well, I mean,
cut
that's the
that.
entire scene. We can't cut that.
You can cut a little bit.
Let's take a look. I'll look at it. I'll look at it.
All right. But yeah, not the whole scene, just like that dialogue. It could even make it faster, like speed up the. I don't know. I'm just justifying my excuses for my bad writing. All right, I guess let's finish this. And even, dude, yeah, this guy's performance is really good. You said his name is Alex?
Yeah.
It's really good. And it's cool because, like, those lines, I really like the ones that I wrote for him. And he did it really well. It's like, oh, yeah,
No,
he
that was
knew
his
what we were
first
going
time.
for there. It's like,
That was his like
it's so
first time
good.
acting, I'm pretty sure. And he like literally everyone was talking about how good of a job he did. Like, no, seriously, like dude is like he's got it. Like he knows what he's doing.
Yeah.
And like I just hope he
He's got the
continues.
look, too.
Yeah, he does.
Yeah.
He looks like Dax. Yeah. There's a funny bit
Yeah.
there's a funny bit he does about like being cast as Dax, and I'm gonna like that's gonna be in the behind the scenes, but I'm excited for you to see that because it's like he literally fit so well, and it's like what does it say about Alex that he fits so well? But
Yeah,
anyways,
right. Yeah, that is funny. All right, let's finish this up. Let me go back a little bit. This line.
I'm gonna pretend like I know what you're talking about.
that's the audience. They're like, I'm gonna pretend like I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Is this a reference track for the audio?
Yeah.
Like the music? That
Yeah, it's a 10 track.
cool. I was
Mhm.
like, I don't know, because I'm excited. You said your brother's making the music, so I was like, oh, did he make this?
Oh no.
Or
But
your cousin or something?
he likes it. He said that it's good. And I think he's gonna like try to base it off of it somewhat. We'll see.
Nice.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to soundtrack before the film is finished, honestly.
Yeah.
But you know, I don't know. Anyways, yeah, it's just a reference.
Yeah. Sorry. Damn. She's sick.
Dude, right?
Yeah.
It's like the audience has been waiting for some action, and here it is.
Yeah, that was funny. Dude, her eyes are so dark. It's like it consumes you. You like get swallowed into it.
So I'm
Damn.
like, yeah, I don't know. It's like it's so rough. It's like it's on the right track, but it's so rough.
I have a thought.
Hmm.
For the shooting, when Lacey shoots all those people,
Yeah.
what you could do is just show her, like, pulling the triggers, and then have like Dax reacting and the bodies fall. So like that way you don't have to show like each headshot or whatever, make it like a Bollywood film, when like there's a car crash and then like you see 5 different people's reaction to the same car crash. It's like you can maybe like sweep all of that with like just a reaction shot of Dax as he like crouches down or whatever. Because that was something I was disconnected from when I saw what is it? Like, yeah, Lacey pulls the trigger and then she turns to Dax and he's on the ground, crouching. I was like, when
Yeah.
did he crouch? I would like to have maybe seen that shot, I guess.
Mm. Okay. Yeah, so the thing is, I don't remember like what we captured
Bang,
of that.
bang, bang.
Because like we have like a moment where he actually drops down. I don't know. I don't know. I have to think about that. But yeah, more context. Okay. That's good. That's a good note. Definitely.
And yeah, the ending was sick. The ending was good.
Okay, you liked it.
I like the cut to white. It was cool.
Yeah. And then when we do the kind of voiceover thing at the end, that's going to be interesting as well because it's going to hopefully be like a segue, but the film doesn't get any less rough there because we were like filming this thing like out of a car, like recording him on the motorcycle, but like with 2 people who like one person's a filmmaker, but very, very like, you know, I don't know, just like not like much of an artist, like he's I don't know how to explain that, but he like doesn't have the like curiosity, I guess. So it's like, and then the guy who's driving, is also a filmmaker, but he at the same time he's like very like, let's respect the rules, let's not do this. So it's like
Oh yeah.
we could have been going so fast. Like we almost died at our speed, but we could have been going so fast. And it's like we were driving down this
Damn.
like windy, like, kind of small road, and it's like we could have taken it all the way out into the woods because that's what I had for the story. But like I let them kind of convince me, like, okay, it's not my car, it's it's not my house, like where we were staying. Like, okay, fine, but it's like in hindsight, like I should have been like, no, we're going, you know, out to the fucking middle of nowhere because that's what the story is. Like
That's pretty
like,
funny.
there's a degree where it's like I have to accept some flaws and everything like that because it is just a student film, and I have to like do the
Sure.
best I can because like what I'm trying to
Yeah.
find is like that balance between cinematic and also student film. Like how do I find that? Obviously, this isn't like a Reservoir Dogs, like that's fucking amazing, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's like it is also my first. I don't know. I have no idea, like, because it's not done, right? So I don't know if I'm happy with it yet. I don't know if like we've gotten everything we can, but I feel like the room for like where it could be, and its potential is there. It's just about like how I mix the ingredients, I think. So I'm not really too worried
Oh, that's
about
really
it.
well
I
said.
think, yeah, like when it's all together and I'm able to like really see it, like its flaws will be more clear. Um, but I don't really plan on like making it perfect, like because it's like I want to get it to the degree where it's like watchable and like you can have an opinion on it and you can like have some ideas of like, where it can go next and everything like that. But like trying to like hone in and like make it like as good as like physically possible is just like I feel like not a really good use of my time because it's like there is other things that I want to do. And I feel like the story is strong. I feel like the acting is strong. The cinematography is strong. If there's like some issue with the editing, it's going to be like, oh, I mean, this is someone who edited in a room by themselves their first film, like having no guidance, just trying to make something work.
Yeah.
There's like a degree of like okay with that, which I am, uh, but I'm excited to see like what the reception is. We're doing a screen test in May, I'm excited to see like what people think, and also like watching the film with other people. I think really helps. Like it helps you
Like
notice things.
reactions.
Yeah, reactions, but also like when we were just watching this, I like realized how rough it was, and like at the time, I was like, this is finally at a place where I can watch it, and now it's like, wait,
Mm.
oh fuck, like I gotta
Oh, that's
fix it.
funny.
Yeah. Um, so I don't know, like how much, like you don't want to be like one of those guys who's like editing this film for like a year, like I mean,
Hmm.
at some point you just gotta like get it to the level where it's like good enough that like it's not gonna be like straight up rejected just from like the first 5 minutes, and then like refine as much as you can within your time window, but you don't want to be like just working and working and working on something. I don't know if that
Yeah.
makes sense.
No, I think that does make sense. I think yeah, you're not treating it like it's more than it is, and I think that's really healthy.
Right. Um, I definitely like fucking inflated this shit in my head though when we were filming. I was so excited. But like at the end of the day, like it is something like no budget. Like we have a budget of $700, like that kind of thing. So
Yeah. Yeah,
we didn't
yeah,
hire
a no
anyone. Like
budget
this is
for
my
sure.
first time with like all this stuff. So
Oh, of course. Yeah. Yeah, that's funny, man. So how many scenes do you have like rough edits for? I've seen scene 4 and scene 11.
okay, so I also have scene 5 because that's a oneer. And then we're gonna do scene 4 on Monday. We're filming on Monday for scene 4. The first part of scene 4. Second part we're gonna film like either the next day or the day after that.
Oh
So
yeah, Jim and Lacey. Nice.
huh?
Scene 4, I was just sorry. Yeah.
Oh,
You're
it's all good.
reshooting that.
Yeah, we're reshooting that, and that one's not gonna be like that long. Scene 8 we're gonna get tonight, hopefully. Scene 11, yeah. Scene 2 I'm gonna try to get tonight, and then scenes like 1. So I'm also realizing there's scenes 7 and 9, which like are just like outside scenes, and they're like very very small, right?
Oh yeah.
It's like we have like scene 1, 3, 6, 7, and 9, which are all really really short scenes. I feel like if I just like really hammer this home, I might be able to get those done tomorrow, because like I mean not done because there's still like B-roll that I have to film, but it's like the like rough cut is supposed to be ready by Tuesday, and I feel like I could theoretically get that done. Like if I just like lock myself in, just drink coffee, lose a few days of sleep, I feel like I could get that done by Tuesday. Uh, just because like I would really like the my professor's notes, because he is gonna give me notes, and he's gonna like look over the film and like say like here's some things you could do better, and it's like I would like those notes for like the complete film. So like I
Mhm.
think it would be good if I can get those, if I can get everything done by Tuesday, show it to him, get his notes, fix some things up, ship it out, and then just refine for a month, and then actually publish. That's the idea.
Yeah, that's sick, man. So after, well, hold on. When you say actually publish, do you mean like okay, you get the final cut, you turn it in to your school, and then you're
No, so that's the screen test that
publishing
I'm
it on
doing.
like
I'm
Vimeo?
the so the screen test I'm putting that, like I'm gonna send that to my professor, to my school. It's gonna be like a feature complete film, and everybody will be able to watch it. But the next month I'm gonna spend like just refining everything, and like making everything a lot nicer,
Hmm.
especially audio, like all that stuff. Like maybe also like there's like maybe you want to reframe a few shots, like crop in or something like that. Like that's something that I would leave till later. So that's what I
Oh,
mean.
okay.
So like that's going to be like here's the cinematic experience as much as I can physically deliver in a month. Because it's like the
Yeah.
film is ready, right? Everything's there. We just need to implement soundtrack and sound effects and reframing shots and color grading. Like I'm not expecting to get all of that done, by May, but if I do, that's great. But like if like that gives me at least a month to like just get it a lot better after I hear feedback.
Mm.
So yeah.
And at the end of that month, would you be like posting it on YouTube and stuff like that? Or
Yeah. Yeah.
okay.
Um,
Okay.
YouTube.
So what is that,
Also,
June?
that's gonna be likely June. Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, I still want to edit together a trailer at some point. I
Yeah.
think that would be a lot of fun.
Man, I just
Um,
don't know. Like the thing is, um, maybe like rough cut, right? You can edit that, and then if there's any more shots or something that you need, you let me know, and I can send those. Because it's like, what's probably gonna end up happening is you're gonna send me that, and then I will just recreate it. You know, uh, just
oh
because I
yeah.
have all the footage. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I mean, honestly, I like what I think I might do actually is just like send it to you and then send it to someone else as well, and like see if I can get someone to edit a trailer for me because I'm not like trying to edit something completely brand new right now. You know, I'm trying to like finish
No.
the film.
Yeah, dude, just send it to me, man. I want to edit a trailer together. That's something
Okay,
I've been thinking about for like a
all right.
minute. I want to edit a
Start doing
trailer.
research.
I have it in my head too. I have a vision of what I want it to look like.
Start doing research. Definitely start doing research. Because it'll save you
Yeah,
so
I don't
much
know how to
time.
put together a trailer. What I want to do is like I'll maybe I'll write a script for it.
Mhm,
What the trailer would be. I don't know. We'll see. Because I want it to be like play on the psychological thriller angle. And I think that
mhm.
would be cool to like lean into that and make it seem like Dax is losing his mind in this trailer. I don't know. It'd be
Mhm.
fun. Like the computer's talking to him.
This film is gonna be so janky, but like, also I'm really excited. Like, cause I'm thinking like we're gonna get like probably a pretty decent sounding soundtrack. Um, gonna go hard on the color grading. I really want to make sure that that's good. You know, the camp like we have a lot of footage. Like the shots are kind of cinematic, even though they're quite experimental. You know, and the story's good, but like yeah, it's like, and then also I'm gonna implement CGI elements, so it's like, like I feel like there's just gonna be something that's gonna be so weird about this film, and that kind of excites me. It's like
Yeah.
it's gonna be so unique. I think that's like the bottom line. Like I don't think it's gonna be a boring film. I don't think it's gonna be a bad film at all. But I think it's gonna be like
I'm
super unique. So
I'm so excited. I'm so excited. And like
yeah,
talking to you about it is getting me more excited because in all of the scenes, I can't wait. I'm so excited to see it. Like it's crazy.
yeah.
This is a film that, we wrote together and like
Hmm.
it's like real now. That's wild. It's like mind
Yeah.
blowing. I'm really, really pumped to, yeah, because so what does scene 3 look like?
Scene
Talk to me
three.
about that footage. Oh,
So scene three,
sorry.
he comes home. Oh, the one where he drops all this stuff, and oh yeah, that was fucking brutal, dude. That was so hard, cause like, like it was like me, the assistant cinematographer. Wait, did you? Oh yeah, okay, you're there. It was me, the
Yeah.
assistant cinematographer, and and then like the assistant camera person, and we were like together, like for like an hour or something like that, like maybe 2 hours, like at the lounge of my university, just figuring out the dynamics of that scene. How does he come in? How does he drop this thing? How does it end up where he can see it? How does he drop several things? You know, it's like this is all things we were thinking about. But
Yeah.
literally, like the who originally she was like going to be our assistant director, she ended up just being an assistant camera person. Um, she came up with something so quick, and I was
What
like,
was it?
so I think what happens is he brings the bag, he leaves it by the fridge, right? And then like it's the package is hanging out, right? And then he goes to sit down, drops his food, cleans it up, and then he notices the package.
Cool.
So it's like so much like more streamlined. And I don't know how she came up with that because it was racking my brain for like weeks. I was like, how the fuck did we film this? You know, we even had a meeting and it was like taking a long time. And then like on the day of the shoot, it just worked out. We just got it. So
Nice, dude.
yeah.
I'm so excited. Like, well, scene 3 is a fun scene. There's a lot of stuff happens. It's it's the choice. Dax first he decides, or he's like, drawn into this temptation of looking at this box or whatever, and I think that's
Yeah.
cool. So he gets to. I'm excited to see what that looks like, and that's what I want to base a lot of the trailer on. Is like, I want to use a lot of shots from that. If it, like, I don't know
Yeah,
what
if
it
it
looks
works
like,
out.
but
Yeah.
that's what I'm thinking. I think that would be a lot of fun. And I want. So, do you have any scenes of Lacey talking to camera,
No,
like in
I'm
scene
gonna
5 at
record
the
those on
beginning of
Monday
scene 5?
actually. Those are for
Oh
Monday.
snap,
Yeah.
dude! That is a scene I'm excited about. That interaction.
Yeah. What is so I'm gonna have you seen the shots of Alex with like just the light on his face in a dark room and it's like a blue light?
I don't know. I probably have seen it, but I don't know.
Okay. Well, that's what I'm
Let me.
planning for that scene with Lacey is just like recording her like talking to the camera like with a singular colored light on her with like some green color grading and just like having
Mhm.
like text and all this stuff on the screen.
This?
Yeah, yeah, like that, but with green.
Yeah, cool.
Mhm.
And that's gonna be. Do you have like a
Like,
scene with
yeah.
like? Is that? Are you gonna CGI that or use like special effects to put that on the computer screen that like Dex is looking at?
Yeah, it's gonna be like composited. I didn't.
So cool, man.
All right,
Oh,
all right.
that's money. That's money.
Yeah. Um, I have
And
no
Ethan
idea.
looks so good.
Yeah, right? No, he's like he's perfect for the role. I honestly wish we had like an older Jim or like something like that, but like I don't know. It was exciting. Like I feel like he still pulled through. Um, really it's all just going to come together like once like the edit is like at a good enough level. You had soundtrack, you had sounds, you had color grading, you had special effects. All of it is just going to make the film like 2, 3, 4% better, and like that percent goes a long way because like when you're editing, like you're only making the film like let's say 20% better because it's like there's all the filming and acting and like all these other elements that go into it, right? And so it's like they all contribute a little bit of a percent to the whole film, and
Yeah.
it's like whatever's like lacking in the edit, like I know it's going to be like I'm going to take it to a level where I'm happy with it. That's just the way it is. And then like adding all that extra stuff is going to just make it like so much better. And it's like there are going to be things that are very very like indicative of like the situation that this film was made in, of course,
Mm.
but it's still going to be watchable and it's still going to be fun. It's going to be a little bit awkward, a little bit unique, but it's going to be fun and I'm excited.
I'm excited. I it it's gonna be really good. I think we have put like or you've put a lot of time and attention and like detail into
Yeah.
the thought into all the details, and that's I think is gonna really pay off.
Yeah.
And it's cool like hearing you think through like, okay, how are we gonna film this? And that's something I wish we would have done. And I messed that up, but I wish we would have like gone through the entire script together and just like walked through like so we both
Mm.
y- exactly understood exactly what was going on, and then you could bring that to the group. Um, that was something I wish we had done, but it's cool hearing that you had done that with like other folks and like, oh, that's sick, so
Yeah,
cool.
yeah. Well, also like
Cause like
mhm. Yeah,
you
go ahead.
just never know how it's gonna translate like from the page to somebody reading it,
Yeah.
and so it's cool like seeing where you took it. You know what I
So
mean?
there's a few fundamental things when it comes to cinematography that you have to be aware of. Like you need an establishing shot, right? You need like a shot that's more close up, just so that way, like, it's like more like you get more of the emotion from the actors.
Mm,
Uh, so like you need to establish the setting, you need to establish context of like action, and then you need to establish like the close up, right? Beyond that, that's where like the freedom and the choice comes in. But that's kind of why it's like not so important that we had that meeting for like this film, because it's like I watched a film which I based my cinematography off of, and that's The Hunger Games, right? That film
uh-huh.
is handheld, barely any establishing shots, like just enough so that way you can tell what's going on, but everything is happening like quick cuts from like the face to the hand to like whatever's happening. Like the hand is such a good example in that, but it's like, frequently like very zoomed in, very much like, and then they use like shots being out of focus. They use shots like being in focus, like all as narrative elements. Like maybe like a shot on one actor will be like very close, and then the shot on the other actor will be kind of far away. And it's like, in doing that, what they're expressing is a character's discomfort or a character's comfort with their scenario. And so it's like I tried to really like hone that in and like implement that into my own film. And so it's like, although we didn't really have too many of those meetings, I picked up the camera and I knew what I wanted, so
Yeah.
I wasn't really too worried about it. And like, I think the handheld feel is really present throughout the film, and like that's something that I wanted. It was like the really close up handheld feel, and I feel like we really achieved that. Next time I'm gonna get a gimbal or like a thing, but for the most part, it's good enough. I like it. So
I like it too, and I think it does work. And it does like make me uncomfortable, I guess. Like being like really punched in on their faces, especially towards like the back half of scene 11. And that's cool too. Like something I noticed on this second watch was like everything got closer and closer like as the scene progressed.
Yeah.
And that's cool. I think that's a really good a strong choice. And I definitely felt like the transition again when you pointed it out, how it switches from like Dax to Lacey. I think that's cool.
Okay.
But I wonder like I don't know. I think it's cool. I'm excited to see like how you develop that like throughout the film. I think that's something.
Yeah.
If that's like a vision you have, like, and a through line throughout all of the movie, I think
Yeah.
stick with it. And like, let's see how it goes.
I'm so excited to see the whole thing together, honestly.
Man, I'm really excited. I hope you get that rough cut ready in 2 days.
Dude, I'm motivated. Like, let's do it. I wish I had a Red Bull, but for now, we're fine.
Yeah.
Might make some coffee though. Play some video games and make some coffee. Get to it.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan.
So good talking to you, man. Thanks for letting me creatively vent. I do not do this a lot.
No, it's good. And I've missed our conversations, man. I've been wanting to chat with you for a while.
Yeah. And I'm excited to hear what you have going on as well, which we'll get into.
Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll talk about it. I'll let you go, brother, so you can get to that coffee and back to editing.
Yeah.
I can't wait, dude. I'm so pumped.
Perfect. All right. I'll talk to you later, man.
Peace, brother.
Bye, Craig. And
bye, Craig.
See you later, man. See ya.
Peace. Now recording. All right, ladies and gentlemen, episode 25 is in the books. I hope you all enjoyed that little insight into the behind the scenes of what goes into getting a final cut or a rough cut of a movie together. So yeah, it was pretty fun for me to record that episode with Elijah. He's going through it again. I think I said that a couple of times in that podcast. He's working through the edit and learning on the go and trying to figure out how to put a movie together. And I certainly have no idea what I'm doing, so I'm just watching this and watching the hard work that he's done, and I'm like, oh, what about this thing? Have you ever thought about this? And he's like, yeah, Chase, I've thought about that 1,000 times and it doesn't work. So that's been a lot of fun, and I'm super just proud of that guy, man. He's doing good stuff, good work, and it's awesome to see. I've also been doing good work. How's that for a smooth transition? No, I got some projects to update you all on. I think last time we talked, I was right in the middle of outlining a new screenplay, and I did finish that. I'm super pumped about that. It's such a great story and great movie that I really think I could maybe produce one day, but I'm gonna give it a break and go back to writing Touch, my first love. My first screenplay, and I'm going to continue editing that. And I just started, reviewing it, editing it. I don't know. I'm just reading it right now. I just want to read the thing and see if it works, because I added in like thousands and thousands of characters and, you know, like 20 extra pages. So I don't even know if any of that works on like a story level. So I'm just reading the screenplay right now just for story edits and seeing if it works, and then I'm going to go back to my behemoth of a document for all of my editing notes that I have to include. And I do want to apologize if you all can hear the lawnmower going on in the background. My I guess lawn care service is going on in the neighborhood I live in, so that's always fun. But yeah, so that's what I've been working on. I hope you all have been working on projects as well and are accomplishing all of those. I guess this is something I can update you all on. I am also in the middle of getting my fitness back in order. I remember like probably 6 months ago I told you all I was taking a break from running and I was taking a break from not working out, but I kind of slowed down on working out. But yeah, now I'm back to my running habits. Not 10 miles a week, but I'm at least going on like 1 to 2 to 3 runs a week nowadays. So I'm getting back at it, and it's just, I feel so much better. Oh gosh, like having cardiovascular health is a crazy concept that everyone should invest in. It's so good. It's like, what? You don't have to get winded going up the stairs anymore? It's like, nice. That's money. I like that. But yeah, and then going back to the gym, making it a priority again. Of course, I was still going to the gym throughout these past 6 months, but just like not as intense, not as hard as I wanted to go. So I'm getting hard. I'm staying hard, you know. Simplify. But yeah, so that's what I've been doing, and it's been good. I hope you all have, you know, been setting your goals and accomplishing your goals and working towards them and all of that stuff. If you have any goals that you would like to update me on, or, you know, let the people know what you're doing, feel free to shoot me an email at theimprovedpodcast@gmail.com. If you want to leave a 5-star review on the podcast, you can do that in your podcast listening app of choice. Any 5-star review I'll be reading on the pod live out here, and it is phenomenal. Always good fun. I do want to give a shout out to Green Bean for all of our musical intros and outros. Shout out to him. And I think that's about everything from me. I'll see you all next Monday for another episode of the Improve Podcast. And cut.